Hello everyone, I'm Casper Kuma and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. Now we're continuing on to episode 2 today, so let's see a quick recap of episode 1, just for a refresher. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, 26 hours of bus rides and countless late-night stops in seedy depots that would have felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought tickets. The funeral of the Pearly Ann Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt. Seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Hold on one second. For some reason I can't hear anything. Okay, we're all good. The cable was all messed up for some reason. Okay. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. Look, if you're not going to go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm going to do it for you. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. She hunts cryptids. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Pain, rot, decay. You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of those woods at dawn. Come on, you, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creature in the tree line grows louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. You dive forward to scoop Gretchen into your arms just before she manages to wriggle out of her harness, your eyes fixated on the dark tree line over Duke's shoulder. God damn it! Stella, keep an eye on her for us. Make sure she doesn't get in any more trouble. Welcome home. My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they are a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. From the comfort of Stella's guest room, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe and you're warm. Tuesday morning waits. Wake up. Let's do this thing. You open your eyes. The sun has risen, the birds are singing. You are still alive, but for now, you are safe. Your gaze wanders across the unfamiliar room to the window and the woods beyond, and you wonder if the monsters are lurking just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the comfort of your new friend's family home. You can't help but remember Duke slumped against a tree, pieces of him scattered across the clearing, a knock at the front door. Your morbid thoughts are interrupted by a distinctly unhappy voice filtering through the house and past the closed door of your bedroom. Where the hell is Casper? Oh, hey, Tabby. There's a fresh pot of coffee on the table if you want to come in. No, I'm just here to check in on my cousin. Let's make this quick. I have a lot on my plate today. You're barely decent. It might be mildly scandalous if people saw you like this. What are you wearing? You get naked in somebody else's house? That's kind of weird, man. Hey, some people are trying to sleep in here. Saunter out half-clothed, finish getting dressed, and calmly collect yourself. Quietly hide under your covers. Let's get dressed and get out there. Finish getting dressed and calmly collect yourself. You calmly collect yourself while Tabitha fumes outside your door. Are you sure you don't want to visit for a bit? You don't have to run around being the big boss this week of all weeks. You should let yourself... I'm fine, thanks. Casper, I know you're here. Where the hell are you hiding? Let her stew for a bit. Casper isn't here right now. Walk out and greet him. Let's not get her more pissed off. I mean, we did kind of go missing for an entire night. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe she knows things. Let's walk out and greet them. Now sufficiently prepared to greet other civilized humans, you open the door and join them in the living area. Gretchen excitedly looks at you and wiggles her tail. I simply must say, what a joy it is to see that you are finally up. I do hope you're well rested and that you don't mind our most unfortunate guest. Morning, how'd you sleep? What exactly did the two of you get up to last night? We went up to the woods to film a video. No, not that part. The cops called this morning and they told me all about that. They did? What'd they say? Did they find Duke? They didn't find the body, if that's what you're asking. But apparently he never went home last night. Oh, wait, I just noticed that now you can't hear the audio. Hold on a minute. Okay, now we should both be able to hear. Sorry about that. And they had quite a few questions about you, Casper. Ugh, don't worry, I told them you were an upstanding citizen. You should remember that kindness next time you think about blowing me off to spend the night with a stranger. Look, I don't care what the cops think, Tabby. There's something horrible out in these woods, and I don't think anyone in this room wanted Casper walking up that mountain alone last night. Stella, would you mind giving me a moment alone with my cousin? And while you're at it, please stop calling me Tabby. We're not in high school anymore. Yeah, alright. You're not gonna let her treat my dear Stella like that, are you, Casper? Stella stays. Isn't this Stella's house? Why are you bossing her around? Sorry, Stella, but I should probably talk to Tabitha in private. Quietly let Stella leave. I mean... I don't know. What do we do? I mean, I feel like if I side with, Tabitha here, that'll make two people unhappy with me. But, I don't know. I mean, Stella's kind of backing down on her own. I mean, does she really need to be here for this? We'll stand up for Stella. You know what? I don't like Tabitha that much anyways. Isn't this Stella's house? Why are you bossing her around? This really isn't a hill worth dying on. I'll give you two some space. Thanks. You've been in town for less than a day, and my stress is already through the roof. I mean, I get it. Stella got you all worked up and you were too scared to walk home. Sure, whatever. That checks out. But I don't care if those woods are chock full of ghouls and ghosties. It had me worried sick. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. You're not my boss. You're not my mom. You're not my mom. You can't run off as soon as I get here and hold me to a different standard. I watched a man die last night. I mean, I feel like that's a better advocate for why you should be home by bedtime. That's not something you should see. There's actually something out there. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. I'm sorry, it won't happen again, but it's a lie. What do we say? I mean, I don't want to promise anything. Let's just say I watched a man die last night. I mean, I don't know, because I don't want to... like, she was just worried about it, so I want to be, like, a jerk about it. But I also don't want to agree. I mean, we could remain silent, but I don't know. Let's just say I watched a man die last night. Tabitha, I watched the man die last night. Cut me some slack. You mentioned that before I went to bed. I have no idea what happened in the woods, but if that's true, it's all the more reason to head back to the estate before it gets dark. I'm leaving. I've already lost a good chunk of work day coming down here. I expect to see you back at the estate tonight. You hear Stella's voice call out from another room. Wait, Tabby, let me know if you're free sometime, okay? Tabitha sighs. I mean, it seems like they used to be friends. That's a face of regret and trauma. Something happened between the two of them, and it's probably Tabitha's fault. You're relentless. We'll see, but don't get your hopes up. I couldn't help but overhear some of that from the other room. I'm sorry I let Tabby barge in like that. She totally blindsided me. Happy I stayed here. I shouldn't have stayed here. I don't regret anything, but you're right. That sucked. Couldn't care less what Tabitha thinks. I'd rather just pretend nothing happened, remain silent. I'm happy I stayed here. I'm happy I stayed here. Me too. Anyway, sorry for that rude awakening. I've been up for a little while, but I was hoping to let you get some extra sleep. But you're up now, and we've got a full day ahead of us if we're going to get to the bottom of this. A full day ahead of us? That sounds like it's walking time to me. How are you so chipper? I want to ask the other miners about Wayne. Alright, boss, what's the game plan? Do we have to look into this stuff? What if we just skip town and ride things out? I mean, Wayne is a weird one. Maybe we should ask about that. We should, well, this says explore. That won't lock us into anything. How are you so chipper about this? I mean, it is kind of weird. How are you so chipper? You shouldn't be okay right now. I guess I'm just pretty good at compartmentalizing things. What happened out in the woods last night was horrific, but right now we have something important to focus on. I'll have time to process what happened to Duke when we get to the bottom of things. Yeah, I mean, you guys were friends. She kind of cold about that whole circumstance. You shouldn't bury your feelings like that. That's kind of... This is just her way of dealing with it. We shouldn't tell her how to deal with her feelings. We should probably ask the other miners about Wayne. He is kind of weird. I want to check out the mines at some point today. Maybe some of the miners there can tell us about Wayne. He scared the bejesus out of me last night. Definitely. Kanika's waiting for us at the library, so we should head over there first. But unless we can find something solid on ditchlings there, the mines seem to be the strongest lead we've got. Oh, let me set up a group chat. What's your number? You and Stella exchanged numbers. A text message from Stella to you and Kanika. It reads, group chat. Anyways, daylight's burning, so let's roll out as soon as you finish getting dressed. Can I eat first? Can I eat first? I mean, if we're gonna be running away in terror from things, might as well do it on a full stomach. Don't worry about that. I've packed all sorts of snacks for the day, and Oscar totally won't mind if we eat at the library. Alright, but those snacks better be good. As if you even need to worry. Oh, Gretchen looks so distraught. The walk to town was short. Stella's house is barely a stone's throw from what remains of Scarlet Hollow's once bustling main street. You shudder as you stare down the thoroughfare, both from the chill in the morning air and the all-too-present memories of everything you witnessed last night. You see that building labeled Town Hall? That's actually the library. Well, it's also the Town Hall, but that's just a small upstairs office nowadays. I guess this town's not what it used to be. That and our mayor's really into going on walks. I think there's actually going to be a meet and greet later this week. Could be just the pick-me-up we need after everything that's been going on. Stella may be fond... Oh, that's Gretchen. Stella may be fond of him, but I certainly didn't vote for that beast. What's wrong with him? Keen eye and talk to animals. He's human, right? Let's go. Well, if we say this, then it'll be kind of random. Gretchen doesn't seem to care for him. Alright, I know you've joked about it a couple times, but now I'm actually starting to believe you can understand her. Gretchen absolutely can't stand Mayor Jimmy. Oh, hey! Morning, Stella, and the same to you, Casper. Who's Avery again? This person? Yeah, this is Sybil. Sybil? Speak of the devil. We were just talking about you. Coming from Stella's, eh? Did you all have a slumber party? Oh, sorry y'all, but I'm actually in a bit of a rush this morning. I really can't stop the chat. It'll take me a bit to set up, so if you want to catch up with the folks or grab something at the diner, you can meet me at the library when you're done. Just sure that you'll catch up to Avery and Sybil? Oh sure, see you in a bit. Yeah, we'll just say see you in a bit. Oh sure, see you in a bit, Stella. Cool, see you soon. Whoa, she always has time to chat. Is she feeling okay? Oh, Stella and Casper just got up to a bit of trouble last night, that's all. You can't just drop something like that and leave me hanging. What happened, Casper? Somebody died. I mean, we don't really know them very well. I don't know if we should tell them too much. I mean, but she kind of knows the whole situation. Dude got hurt. I mean, the whole man is dead. I feel like, regardless, they're gonna find out eventually. Let's tell him the truth. Tell Avery the whole truth. Stella and I went into the woods to try and find the skunk ape, but we ran into something way worse. Actual monsters. Sybil said that they're called ditchlings, but whatever they are, they killed Duke and have been mutilating the local wildlife. Whoa, 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 slow down. Duke is dead? It's true, I'm afraid. That's awful. Has anyone told Beau? Yes, he's taking it as well as you can imagine. I'll be going to check in on him today, the poor lad. I can't believe you had to see that, Casper. Tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. How about you swing by the diner? Winnie can fix you some of Sybil's new blend and try to calm your nerves. It's chaga and lemon balm. It's always helped me on the bad days. And if you need to talk about what happened, I'm all ears. Anyways, it's up to you. See you around, Casper. See you, Sybil. Take care now, Avery. I'd better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you were holding up. Please don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. Wait, do you know anything else about ditchlings? Why doesn't anyone in this town seem to know or care that a man died? Why doesn't anyone in this town seem to know or care that the woods are full of monsters? What is wrong with the people here? Great questions. I mean, insulting the town won't really work out for us, I feel like, but it is kind of weird that nobody cares. Either, what do you know about ditchlings, or... Well, we're going to the library. I mean, she probably told us all that she knows, like, last night, right? Like, I don't know why she'd hold back with the information. I mean, there's a chance she forgot something, but it is kind of weird how nobody cares. So let's ask that. Why doesn't anyone in this town seem to know or care that a man died? This town has had a hard run of things, Casper. People here lead difficult lives. Their pasts are full of death. No one in Scarlet Hollow is a stranger to it. Nika and Miles lost their father not but a few years ago. We've all just had to learn how to live with it in our own ways. As for your encounter with the police, people tell a lot of stories up in the hills, especially city folk who wouldn't know a bear from a Bigfoot. No offense, of course. But I'm afraid that means most folks aren't going to take your claim very seriously. At least not until they see what you saw with their own eyes. Be gentle with them, Casper. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need tending to. Stay safe, God bless. Stella said you had some time to kill before she finished setting up. I don't know if I want to go to the diner. I want to go somewhere we haven't been before. Let's go to the general store. We might find some new people. This is your first time seeing a general store in the light of day. A young man sits at a table by the register, too preoccupied with his phone to care that you stepped in. You want some boiled peanuts, man? I still have them. They're nice and warm because they've been in my pocket this whole time. You should leave town. I hear there are monsters in the woods. Hi, I'm Casper. If I wanted to buy chips or something, do I talk to you, or what you doing on your phone? They're all kind of nosy. Let's hit him with some shock value. You want some boiled peanuts? The young man looks up at you, now quite pungent bag of peanuts, curls his lips in disgust, and returns to his phone. Hi, I'm Casper. I just got to town yesterday. Yeah, I know. Mom told me. If I wanted to buy chips or something, do I talk to you, or... He sighs. I guess, yeah, Kaneko decided to skip work today, so of course whatever plans I had didn't matter. Just take the chips, I don't care. I'm paying for my chips. Wouldn't that be stealing? Won't Kaneko get mad? I'm good. I'm good, thanks. Have it your way. You should leave town, there are monsters in the woods. I don't think he'd care. See ya. See ya. The young man doesn't respond as you turn and leave the general store. Well, that was a waste of time, but it was nice to look. Let's go to the diner. You head towards the diner. The diner is a little quiet today, but the air is still heavy with the tantalizing smell of breakfast. I don't see the point of yelling, like, oh, everyone look out, there's a monster in the woods. Like, they're just gonna think I'm crying wolf. Like, none of these people trust me, and if I say that, then they're just gonna think I'm crazy. So let's talk to Avery. You slide into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Before you can exchange words, Winnie sidles up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. Heard you might need this. The answer to 29 down is oink, by the way. What? But the clue is pen sound. How is that a sound a pen makes? Wait, pen like pig pen? Are you kidding me? How was I supposed to guess that? I don't know why you ever bother with those things. They're just gonna frustrate you. Just something to do to fill the time, but maybe I should switch to Sudoku. Winnie leaves Avery contemplating daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter. I never understood Sudokus. But I think that's also probably because I'm bad with math, so, you know, it all checks out. So, thanks for telling me about last night. If you want to really get into the grisly details, you can tell me. I won't judge. Try your tea. What if you don't believe me? Last night still feels raw. Let's try our tea first. You hesitantly take a sip of your tea. It tastes like you're drinking mold that someone tried to unsuccessfully spruce up with lemon balm. Oh no. What the hell is this tea? Well, you put the tea down and never pick it back up. Let's just put it down. You politely put the tea back down, never intending to pick it back up, but nobody needs to know that. I probably should have warned you about the tea. Chaga does not mess around. It's a fungus harvested from local birch trees. It's supposed to be super healthy for you, and it sure tastes like it. It's a challenging drink. What if you don't believe me about last night? I could tell you about last night, but what if you don't believe me? I'm not here to judge, I'm here to listen. Now this is a cool person. Tell Avery about last night. You spill the beans, glad to have someone to talk about the horrors you witnessed. Wow, that's some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. Monsters in the woods. I may not have lived here long, but I've never heard of anything like that happening around these parts. Can't say I like the thought of it. Now that I think about it, when the cops came in for their morning coffee, they mentioned something about going out to the woods to look for someone. It must have been Duke. They seemed so disconnected from it, I figured it couldn't be very serious, but wow. They're weirdly suspicious of me. Small town cops not knowing how to do their job? Sounds about right. They seem weirdly suspicious of me. I don't get it. They saw Stella's footage. They saw what happened out there, but it feels like so far all they've done is hound me. Hey, I don't know if it helped your anxiety, but even if you think you did something, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't bother going after you. Those cops come in here every day, and I feel like I know them pretty well by now. And let me tell you, they have no follow-through. I can't tell you the number of complaints they just, like, dropped after a day or two. And I'll vouch for you if they try anything. Thank you! And pegged you as a transplant. Where are you from? What's that mean? oh, it means you moved here, okay. Do you regret moving here? You should head out before things get worse. And take me with you! Do you regret moving here? I don't think I have the choice to have second thoughts. I'm not going anywhere without Aunt Winnie, and there's no way she's leaving this place. So he's not coming, or they? I forget their deal. Let me know if you happen to come across any leads. We're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Let me know if you hear anything. Definitely. Aw man, looks like my shift is starting. Hopefully the Chaga's had a chance to start working its magic. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else unusual. Avery slips out of the booth, giving a friendly half-wave before disappearing into the back. You leave the diner, ready to continue your day. Head to the library. I mean, I don't think Avery would have left if we asked them to. What is this picture of? That's an odd one to hang on the wall. I thought it was like what is it? Gulliver's Travels? That, like, that guy that goes to the island with a bunch of, like, the tiny little people, but all these people are normal size, so it's just some strange man strapped to a beam going away from a fire? That's odd. Oh, our puppy's there. You enter the former town hall. What once must have been the stately foyer has been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Oh hey, you made it! Settle in with Stella and Kanika. Shush, Stella, and point to all the books before heading over. That's rude. Settle in with Stella and Kanika. I mean, it sounds like this place is pretty chill because she said that they eat in here sometimes, so settle in. You head over to Stella's and Kanika's table and settle in. Glad you found the place. Hey, Casper, you look tired. My goodness, whatever happened to common decency? You can't go around telling someone they look unwell. You look marvelous, Casper. Thank you, Gretchen. Snitch on the guy from the general store. It was hard to fall asleep last night, all things considered. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm pretty amped up, actually. I've never done a Scooby-Doo before. Nika, you can't just tell someone they look tired. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Let's go with that one. I'll sleep when I'm dead. We've got important work to do. Yeah, I'm eager to crack into these books. Agreed. Anyways, I guess we should get started. Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. You want some boiled peanuts? Extend your bag of peanuts to the librarian in gesture of friendship and good faith. I don't know what to say. Is this a gift? I'm allergic to peanuts. Not seriously allergic, but they give me a rash. Hey, Oscar, this is Casper. You know, Tabby's cousin. Oh, I should have known you were Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. But that Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez. Gutierrez, chief librarian and only librarian. Oscar's amazing. He practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple of shelves of boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind. But speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs around with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at old Maxwell doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. I don't like the thoughts of teens getting up in mystery. Oh, he doesn't have to know about the ditchlings. What's the old Maxwell place? This is great old abandoned spot. We used to hang out there when we were teens. I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. Let's not bring up the ditchling thing. I'm sure she's fine. Well, let's not say that. She might be eaten by a ditchling. Let's say nothing. You say nothing and let the others talk. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as usually is around here. Or is that so? Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on out in the woods. That's actually why we came in today. Have you heard of creatures? Oh, okay, so we're going right out with it. Have you heard of ever heard of creatures called ditchlings? They're a type of cryptid that shows up around places on the brink of disaster. They kind of look like the Pillsbury Doughboy with if the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings? Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I probably try to figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gotta go nab some more books. Behave while I'm gone, Gretchen. Oh, you don't have to worry about her, Stella? You're such a good dog, aren't you, Gretchen? Here, have a biscuit, old girl. Well, ain't you the sweetest thing on two legs? Gretchen inhales the soft biscuit, drool leaking from her toothless mouth as she swallows it whole. I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in the woods. There we go. I don't believe in supernatural stuff, but the woods aren't safe. A man's already dead. It's nothing that we can't get to the bottom of. Whatever's out there in the woods has been brutalizing the local wildlife. Get out while you still can. Remain silent. Yeah, let's go with the man's already dead. I feel like that's the most convincing thing. A man's already dead. I'd say that's plenty reasonable to play it safe. I'm gonna try calling Rosalina again. I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting into trouble. And we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Thanks, Kanika. And Casper, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, would you let her know that her dad is worried about her? Hey, in the corner here, isn't that the thing from Madoka Magica? That little Cubo or something? That evil little cat thing? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him, just grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. Alright. This is gonna be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks, got our source documents. Let's get this research party started. Reading awaits. So flip through Veins of Scarlet, History of Scarlet Hollow Coal Mines. That could be useful. Flip through Silas Scarlet, Soldier, Woodsmith Leader. Flip through Application Folk Monsters. Reading is for suckers. Let's go with the coal mines. First into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exasperated by a short stint serving as captain of the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to the bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country, Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet estate that was, until 1895, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in the fatal collapse and deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. The casualties included Andrew Jackson, Scarlet's son Theodore, his brother Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. Oh, we can look at all of them. Let's look at Silas Scarlet. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to particular ruthlessness, for which he received the name Bloody Silas Scarlet. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin built by Silas's own two hands, occupied by his family of 10. Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. People are breeding like rabbits. Holy cow. Logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, But it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal were running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. You're finished with this one. Alright, application folk monsters. A few entries catch your eye. Wampus cat. A large cat-like creature with a loud howling voice, often said to sound like a woman crying out in pain. That sounds like something we're gonna have to be concerned about. Tommy knockers. Well, they say explore. I think we can look at all of them. Start with the wampus. Often linked to Cherokee legends, some cite the wampus cat as originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon for driving her husband mad. She hunted it down by wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people from their region from its evil. Others say the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wild cat to witness forbidden hunting rites. The hunters of her village gathered to perform the rites, and she watched in secret from underneath the cat's pelt, but was soon discovered. For her indiscretion, she was fused with the pelt, oh my god, and transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. Her calls are those of great sadness, and serve as a warning to anyone who dares go against tradition. Well, let's go with Tommyknockers. Tommyknockers originate in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working on the application mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of the mines and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside. I mean, wouldn't the sound just kind of be like the workers accidentally taking about like a little bit too much out of the mine and then like it all comes crumbling down, you know? I don't know if this one's really a myth. They're traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim that the spirits are of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. Let's look at Talipo. There was a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, all alone with his hunting dog. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something out of the corner of his eye. Oh. Some small creature had gotten into the cabin through a hole, and before he could even figure out what it was, he'd drawn his gun and fired at that thing, his hunger guiding his actions. But it was quick and ran back through the hidey hole and out of sight, leaving only its long black tail shot off by a hunter's rifle. Guess this'll have to do, he said to his dog and threw the tail into the pot to cook a soup. He and his dog ate well that night. Really, with just the tail? The tail filling them both up. I don't know about that. The hunter crawled into the bed satisfied, and his dog curled up at his feet. He woke up to the sound of long nails scrabbling across wood. His dog was nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot on the covers where he'd been, and in the gloom he saw two big yellow eyes staring right at him. "I want my Talipo," a high hoarse voice croaked from the darkness. "Go away," he screamed at the thing. But it stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness, the sound of long claws dragging across hardwood accompanying its movements. "I want my Talipo," the creature growled again. "I'll get my dog after you," the hunter squeaked, his voice catching in his throat with fear, but there was no dog to be seen. "I want my Talipo." Before the hunter could so much as scream, the creature leapt from the darkness, long claws stretched out towards the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night, but the next morning all that remained of the hunter, his dog, and the cabin was a chimney standing alone in the woods. "You're done here." He closed the book and put it back. "I think I'm all done. Let's check in." Alright, so if we're going with Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disasters as what brought the ditchlings here. But not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? Oh, a cat! Before you can respond, a handsome black cat leaps onto the table. Stella quickly slams her book shut. Aw, hey Pixel. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. Pixel, my dear friend, it's been too long. How have you been? Hungry. Did Stella bring the good stuff? Don't worry, little guy, and didn't forget your treats. Ah yeah, snack time. Crunch crunch. Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. He hopefully hasn't gobbled up any of our books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him. Hey Pixel, what do you think about the monsters we saw in the woods? What do you think? Why do you let the paper shredder freely wander library? That's... I mean, we're gonna seem crazy, but the cat might have information. And like, you know, they might think we're joking, right? Like, let's just hope they think we're joking. Hey Pixel, what do you think about the monsters we saw in the woods? I'm an indoor cat and I don't know nothing about no woods. I just hang out in the library, especially now that our house got haunted. What? Pixel says your house is haunted. Wait, your house is haunted? Just ignore him. I mean, this is kind of weird. I don't know. Does it matter if they know that I can talk to animals? You know what, like, I was thinking about it, and it's like, we're investigating this thing together. Them knowing that I talk to animals would probably be more helpful than harmful. Oh my god. Hold on 1 second. My cat is climbing things. 1 second. Sorry, I actually just got a cat. And I'm pretty sure that that's what happened to my headphones cable. I'm pretty sure she ate it. But you know, whatever. So let's say Pixel says your house is haunted. You know what? Let's just do it. I don't know. Pixel says your house is haunted. I did hit. Okay, good. Pixel says your house is haunted. What's up with that? How did you know? Casper is either psychic or she can talk to animals. It's a long story. No comment. We've been living in the library for a little bit. It's been great. Way more snacks, way more scritches. Except sometimes there's too many scritches. Hold up, what kind of haunting are we talking about here? Unexplained noises? Objects appearing in strange and unfamiliar places? Aw, Oscar, don't get her hopes up like that. Nothing like that, sorry. The floor in my bedroom just keeps seeping blood. What? And I've been seeing a strange figure in the hallway a couple of times. Wait, you've seen a full-body apparition? Can I see it? Stella, it's probably just a dirty pipe or something. But what if it's a ghost? It's totally a ghost. Let's go bust it. It's worth looking into. I'm with Kanika. It's probably a very normal and very boring explanation. Well, after last night, I'd say anything's on the table. You know? It's worth looking into. Y'all are more than welcome to check it out. Maybe tomorrow night? Oh, but that goes against my bedtime. Yes, we'll be there. Yeah, that sounds like a fun way to spend an evening. Can't wait to get spooked by some creaky pipes. I mean, can we, like, notify Tabitha that this is gonna happen? I say we let the paper shredder be. Leave Pixel be. We decide to leave Pixel be. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Alright, I'd better get back to shoveling. Not shoveling, shelving. For some reason I saw that as shoveling, but I was like, that'd be weird. It's like fall or something. Let me know if y'all need anything. Oh. That would be asking him. Any luck with the Rosalina? I mean, we could ask. I mean, we have so many options. Might as well. Any luck with Rosalina? Have you had any luck with Rosalina? Not yet. I knew a teen would be a handful, but I didn't think it would happen overnight. I'll probably head out as soon as you're all done and check in on her usual haunts. Stella, what was that you were saying about nuclear accidents? You were talking about the Goldsboro thing, right? Yeah. Apparently in the 60s, B-52 carrying a live warhead broke up midair and dropped a couple of bombs. Fascinating bit of history there. The first of the 2 bombs landed upright after its parachute got caught in a tree. Thankfully, it didn't go off. At the time, the government claimed that the bomb was unarmed, but it later came out that the only thing preventing a detonation was a single electrical switch which failed to trigger on the descent. And 60 years later, the second bomb still hasn't been recovered. That sounds bad. Right, it's conventional explosive disintegrated in midair, but most of the nuclear material was made unrecoverable by flooding. I need to turn this down a little bit. It's too loud. Okay. If I remember correctly, they just buried it and sealed it up. I'm sorry, did you say buried? Do y'all need something dug up? Because if so, I'm your gal. I don't want you digging up bombs. That sounds dangerous and potentially explosive gonna boom bombs. Like, if the other one was just barely triggered, then I don't want to know about this one. I don't think disarming nuclear bombs is part of our skill set. So the nuke made the ditchlings. If the bomb is somewhere else, why would there be so many ditchlings here? Oh god, we're screwed. I don't think disarming nuclear bombs is part of our skill set. Absolutely not. Also, Goldsboro is almost 400 miles from here. I think we're good. I mean, I don't know, how far can a bomb, like a nuclear bomb, explode? I feel like they have a pretty good reach. Is 400 miles enough? I don't know. I'm just saying, you never know with the radiation. We actually know quite a bit. It just melts you. It doesn't make monsters, and a 60-year-old bomb isn't going to explode on its own hundreds of miles away and kill us here. But if it's like... if it's a nuclear bomb, like, what if it's just, like, kind of leaking out into the ground, you know? And then, like, it's poisoning all the area around it, you know? Then wouldn't that, like, potentially make the animals weird? Like, cause isn't there, like, an island or something of, like, dogs that are all radioactive or something because of a mistake there? So isn't it possible the wildlife around here are going through something similar? I don't know. You never know. There could always be a whole underground society of bomb-worshipping mutants just waiting to blow it up. I've missed this. Do you think there's a cult here? Sure, let's whisper it. Hey, psst, you think there's a cult here? You lean in and quietly whisper to Stella and Kanika. You guys think there's, like, a cult here? Those cops are awfully suspicious, almost like they're trying to cover something up. Maybe the ditchlings were actually nudists doing some sort of weird ritual. Maybe the ditchlings were, like, summoned. A lot of folks here feel tense and closed off. They might be just tense because I'm different. Let's go with maybe the ditchlings were, like, summoned. Maybe the ditchlings were, like, summoned as part of a ritual or something like that. She looks concerned. She looks amazed that I'm even saying the words that I'm saying. Seems unlikely. Okay, let's talk about the veins of Scarlet then. It's about the coal mines here. Kanika visibly shudders. I got cold sweats just thinking about being in a place like that. I feel for the guys who work up there. I can never. Speak for yourself. I love a good crevasse. Crevasse. What? What happened after the mines collapsed? The book just kinda glosses over that. There was a union for a little bit, but it didn't last. There's not a whole lot written about the past century here. Yeah, the Scarlet Hollow mine isn't exactly the most ethically run business. No offense or anything, I'm sure Tabby runs the mines better than Charles Shaw ever did. Still hasn't let the union in, though. There's a reason she and I don't talk. A union-busting mine collapse from poor working conditions. Color me shocked. Yeah, it's pretty awful. That's what the sculpture out front was for, commemorating all the men and children who died that day. Every kid in Scarlet Hollow learns about the collapse of 1918. Our teachers love to emphasize how many children they had working down there, probably to try and show us how good we have it or whatever. Low bar, if you ask me. You know, that could be what the ditchlings are warning us about. Another collapse. Breaking it down on the list of potential disasters. Yeesh, Stella, that's morbid. And besides, it was all Charles Shaw's fault. The labor market is way more strict now. There's no way he can just get away with the kind of safety cutbacks he pulled. I mean, you're kind of in the town removed from everything. I'm just saying, I don't know if anyone here would stop you. You barely have a police force. Y'all don't actually think the mine is about to collapse, right? No, I don't think so. Phew, had me worried there for a second. You never know. I hate to give Tabitha any credit, but the mine is safer now than it was back then. Still, what a horrible thought. You never know. You guys really seem to have a bone to pick with Charles Shaw. That's what happens when someone directly causes a monumental disaster, especially in a small town like this. People tend to spit whenever they hear your name. You got run out of town on a rail, you know. And that's not a figure of speech. Back then, they actually tied you to a rail and ran you out of town. There's a big mural over it on the far wall. Oh, so that's what that was. You got off easy, if you ask me. What if the ditchlings are coming from the mines? What if there's something toxic in the mines poisoning town? Wayne seems sick. That's true. I'm not sure if I agree with the collapse angle, but the mines seem important. The whole town is built around them. Mines seem too obvious. It's gotta be something else. And maybe there's something toxic in the mines poisoning the town. Wayne seems sick. What if there's something toxic in the mines poisoning the town? Wayne seems sick. That creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room? He snuck up on us last night and called out Casper by name. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with him. Maybe there's some sort of parasite down in the mines. Maybe infected Wayne, and maybe Wayne's infected the local wildlife. Oh, yeah, that could work. Talk about Silas Scarlet. So, Silas Scarlet. The rich guy in the south? I should have known it wouldn't be pretty. Guess he was a product at a different time. Who knows what the future generations will think when they look back on us. Wow, talk about a self-made man. Seems like a great dude. You think the ditchlings are here for retribution? I get it. Must be like one of those... Wait, what are... I think these ones are the ones talking about Silas still. I think the other ones would be talking about something else. Rich guy in the south? I should have known it wouldn't be pretty. Eesh, I figured old money from the south wouldn't be great, but he sure did some things to get where he was, huh? That book is a perfect example of why you should use multiple sources for your research instead of trusting the first thing you read on the subject. Yep, dude was a monster. The mines made a lot of money during the Civil War, too. You can probably guess which side North Carolinian business owners would be working for. Sorry you're related to him. I keep forgetting that. Oops. I get it. It must be like one of those burial ground situations, right? Like in Poltergeist? You think the ditchlings here are retribution? The town is stuck in the past and building atrocities. It's already practically collapsing on itself. No offense. Seems like a terrible person, but I don't see what that has to do with bad omens or creatures in the woods. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's true. Although, like, malpractice and, like, dumping weird chemicals and stuff in the woods could probably lead to weird things happening, but we don't know if he did that. Seems, yeah, we'll go for that. He seems like a terrible person, but I don't see what that has to do with bad omens or creatures in the woods. I agree. We're talking about ancient history here. Yeah, we probably have better leads. Never hurts to have historical context. Talk about application folk monsters. So, application folk monsters. Wampus cats kind of sound like they could be mountain lions. That's true. You think ditchlings are Tommyknockers? I don't know about that. The Tommyknockers, you couldn't really see their faces. And they also, like, we didn't hear any knocking, I don't think. But we also weren't in a mine, so I feel like that's also... doesn't make any sense. Let's go with... Wampus cats kind of sound like they could be mountain lions. Wampus cats kind of sound like they could be mountain lions. Voiced like a woman crying out somewhere between person size and cat size. Definitely. They're 100% mountain lions. Kanika, you should know there are no mountain lions up there. I thought you were supposed to be a skeptic. Oh, Stella, one of these days you'll trust us. But the myths are old, right? Mountain lions didn't go extinct in the applications that long ago. Those legends just haven't died off yet. Almost every cryptid can be tracked down to either a hoax or someone getting confused about a perfectly normal animal, sometimes both. Bigfoot, for instance, started as a prank. Then folks saw bears walking around on their hind legs and got freaked out. And now here we are. You'll eat those words when I get the first clear You'll eat those words when I get the first clear footage of a Bigfoot. If you manage that, I will print out a piece of paper that says Bigfoot isn't real and literally eat it. I promise. I'm holding you to it. Now we're gonna find Bigfoot in the woods. Let's go with my mom used to tell me that tally post story. I'd totally forgotten about it. My mom used to tell me that tally post story back when I was little. I can't believe I forgot about that one. It scared me so bad I didn't eat soup for years. I thought a monster might try and dig it out of my stomach if I did. I love that one. There's this old chimney in the woods that I used to think was the chimney from Talipo. The one that was left after the thing did whatever it did. Now I know it's just because chimneys don't burn down, and wooden houses do. That doesn't mean it's not the chimney from Talipo. I've camped out there a couple times and seen some pretty spooky stuff. Yeah, I watched that video and you saw raccoons. You're gonna get rabies one of these days, chasing after wildlife like that. What can I say? I like to live on the edge. You think Wayne is a Tommyknocker? Maybe he's the ghost of a dead miner. Something seriously wrong about that guy, and we should definitely look into it, but I don't think he's a ghost. Yeah, ghosts tend to be tied to a specific place, though maybe he's haunting the whole town. He's not a ghost because ghosts aren't real. I've also seen them, like, touch stuff. Let's move on. Why don't we just help look for Relisa? I mean, I'm not too worried about her yet. She is a concern, but I don't know if she's really the main concern. Let's ask them. What do y'all think? There's an awful lot of mine-related stuff in my notes. Maybe that should be our next stop. We can poke around, find out if anyone's seen anything weird. Just to clarify, you're suggesting go to question some of the miners, right? Well, you're not poking around unprepared in the actual mines, right? Right? Yeah, totally, 100%. I would never. We don't even have a good reason to go down there. I mean, we have plenty of good reasons. Might be haunted. Good, let's keep it that way. You know how I feel about mines. I promise, Neeks, we're just gonna go question some of the miners. And if that questioning gives us a good reason to poke around, say a cool abandoned coal mine, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You can cross that bridge when we come to it. You can cross that bridge when you come to it. I am not going underground. I'm just messing with you. We'll stick to the surface. Okay, good. Hopefully we can find out what's wrong with Wayne while we're at it. Maybe Tabitha can help us out. I don't think Tabitha's gonna do shit. Do we have to? This seems like a lot of work. That's stupid. Finally, the opportunity I've been looking for to get to know Tabitha. I don't think that's gonna be great. I'm sure Tabitha's gonna love that we're snooping around. That sounds more accurate. Yeah, let's do that one. I'm sure Tabitha's going to love that we're snooping around. Same goes for all of us, honestly. I can't think of a single person in town Tabitha would be happy to see. We'll just have to make sure we don't get caught. We'll be super sneaky. I can even keep a lookout. Look at us, going out on the caper together. I miss this. I missed it too. I mean, sure, it's not under the best circumstances, but I've been so wrapped up in running the store, I didn't even realize how much I missed being able to hang out with you. No, there is something missing. Reese. I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been since we've seen each other. Have you seen him lately? Nope. I've tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. I wonder if he's infected, you know? They haven't seen him. He's sick. But he's still responsive. Maybe he's... I don't know, maybe he's half mutated or something. I didn't realize it was getting so bad. That poor guy. No, we could just pop over and surprise him. This seems like a bad idea. He seemed excited to meet Casper. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Hell yeah, let's do it. Alright, let's roll out. This seems bad. See ya, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina. Thanks, guys. I'll keep you posted. Didn't the dog not like Reese? I feel like I remember that. Reese's home stands at the edge of the forest wall. This seems bad. We're at the forest, an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from the unending wilderness. Why are we so okay with being near the forest? Reese, it's Stella. I brought some buddies too. Oh, you're not, evil. Shh, not so loud. Oh, you're not Reese. He's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? Sorry. Okay. No, we're good. My cat's doing things. I don't know. I've never had a cat before. This thing makes me nervous. The woman in the doorway stares directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it'd be okay if Reese could come hang out? Nothing strenuous, we promise. I'm not going to wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Oh no, poor Reese. It's just been so long since either of us has gotten a chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Casper would get along super well too. Want some boiled penis now? She'll think we're infected. Hi, I'm Casper. Vivian's kid? That seems like a bad... I don't know if that our family's very well liked. So if Reese is that sick, we shouldn't be dragging him along on adventures. Yeah, nothing strenuous here at all. Yeah. Let's just be silent. Dr. Kelly looks you up and down. You don't think you've done anything wrong, but she's certainly making you feel like you have. Reese's mom turns back to the house, sighing. Sorry, I know that was a little rude. You just want to hang out with Reese, and he misses both of you too. She sighs again, as if deciding whether to finish her thought. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper, and y'all can hang out for a bit. I don't promise that he'll be perky, but I'm sure it'll brighten his spirits to see you two again. And I suppose you can come too, Casper. Wow, I feel really loved and wanted. That'd be great. I can bring a side dish, maybe deviled eggs. Does he still eat those? No, eggs are a little much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle. Okay, I'll bring soda then? That's not... Okay, yes, fine. You can bring soda. Nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Oh, and leave the dog at home. She might cheer him up. You know, they have those therapy dogs in hospital. No dogs. I bet she knows. I bet she knows that her son's got the animal virus thing. She probably doesn't want them to get the dog infected. Maybe? I don't know. Why, I never. The absolute gall. That's so much, thanks so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering you now. See you later. Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking in the place can be heard from within. God, that woman makes me so nervous. I remember she used to be so nice and carefree when we were kids. She always had the best stickers when we had to get our shots. Maybe she's just stressed about Reese. Or maybe she's just nice to kids. Either way, I guess it's just the three of us. You gonna drive? Yeah, sorry. I don't like the thought of going up there without a van. Cool. I'll take my shortcut then. It shouldn't take me long to get there. That sounds like a horrible idea. What do you mean? Why aren't we getting in the van? You're welcome to tag along, Casper. Don't worry, I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods. I am sick of the woods. Either way works for me. That sounds like a horrible idea. Stella's gonna die. And I don't think I will be able to do much to save her. Alright, Stella. What is actually up with you in cars? The mines have got to be a ways off, you're right? Don't worry about it, Casper. There's a lot of junk in the back of my van. It gets a little tight with more than 2 people. I don't want to walk with Stella. I'm gonna be honest. That sounds like a whole load of dying. And Kanika seems nice. I mean, there's a chance if I don't walk with Stella, she might die off screen, but... Listen, the game, in the beginning, it says you can't save everybody, and you also might not save yourself, and I feel like going with Stella puts us more at risk. We gotta look out for ourselves. Let's ride with Kanika. I hope her car doesn't break down. I'll ride with Kanika. See you at the mines. Besides, it's her own problem if she's got a trauma with cars. I don't have to die for it. Kanika's a careful driver, but her old van still bumps around on the mountain roads. Thanks for indulging us on that little diversion. Reese's mom is scary. I don't think either Stella or I have seen the guy outside of his house for years. I've seen him in person maybe 5 or 6 times in as many years. And that was always in his house and with his mom right there the whole time. No one even knows what he's sick with. That sort of isolation can't be good for his health, no matter what his mom says. Stella's parents died in a car crash, didn't they? Seems a little invasive, but, sure, let's be a little invasive. Nobody's telling me nothing, so might as well ask Kanika while she's here and we're alone. Stella's parents— I mean, it's kind of obvious. Stella's parents died in a car crash, didn't they? She told me that her parents died last night. Oh, no. Had died. She told me her parents had died last night. It's pretty easy to put the rest together with how uncomfortable asking her about cars made her and how quick you were to jump in and change the subject. Damn, that's pretty impressive. Not a lot gets past you, huh? I mean, it's kind of freaking obvious. She was in the car too, just some cuts and bruises, but she doesn't like cars and tries her best to stay away from them. I don't think she's ever gonna actually leave this town. God, that's terrible. Has she seen someone? Like a therapist? Good luck finding a therapist within walking distance of Scarlet Hollow. I don't think that's something Stella'd go for anyway. She likes to solve her own problems. Was the guy at the general store your brother? I swung by the general store this morning. Was that guy there your brother? Ugh, Miles. Yeah. He didn't do anything weird, did he? He did such a good job. Model employee. She knows her brother. What type of bullshit? Try to make me steal some chips. Of course he did. And I'm sure he told you all about how we get most of our money from bulk orders, so it doesn't really matter if you just take something. It's fine. Thanks for letting me know. I just wish he would grow up. It feels like I can't trust him to do anything without leaving a mess for me to clean up. Don't get me wrong, he's family and I love the guy, but he sure doesn't make it easy. So what's going on with Reese? So what's actually going on with Reese? Good question. I wish I knew. His mom's been saying he's sick for years, and it's not like she's wrong about it. He's been a wreck the few times I've seen him. I just find it a little weird that his mom hasn't brought in any outside doctors, at least not any I'm aware of. That is strange. I mean, she's a doctor, but if your kid's been housebound for this many years, you'd think it was something you'd put a lot more effort into fixing. I don't know. I'm probably just projecting or something. And that's rough. Yep. Have you thought about living somewhere else? Yeah, this wasn't the plan, and it still isn't. I was actually a couple of years in the vet school, top of my class, might I add, when my dad died. My mom wasn't up for running the store, and you've met Miles. I only wanted to take a semester off, help them get back on their feet, but it's been a year and change now. It's not just about my family, too. The general store? That's the general store. If it winds up going under, it's hard not to imagine the whole town collapsing with it. Maybe I'll get to go back next semester. I'd say welcome to the Dead Dads Club, but I don't actually know if my dad's dead. Well, let's not say that. You'd be a great vet. Chase your dreams, I'm sure they'll be okay without you. That's not true. You shouldn't wait on other people for permission. That's not true. Like, it's like nice to say all this stuff, but there is a bit of responsibility she's probably feeling here. You can't just willy-nilly, like, move out when you're the only place that the whole town can get general items or whatever. Helping your family like this is an admirable. Maybe you should stay here. I shouldn't say that either. You really think you... let's just say... you'd be a great vet. I've seen how you are with Gretchen. Ah, shucks. I was really into biology during my undergrad, and growing up around Stella and her mom gave me a special kind of love for animals. Can you please drive me out of town, like, right now? Do you have any other theories besides what we talked about at the library? I don't know. I don't think there's enough information yet to support any strong conclusions. Though I've been wondering if what you two saw was maybe some sort of mutated animal. Like a string of hairless monkeys or raccoons or something. Do you know about Morgan Island? It's off the coast of South Carolina, and there's a whole population of rhesus monkeys infected with herpes. Like 4,000 of them. Maybe the ditchlings are some kind of Alpecia research monkey. Which sounds ridiculous now that I've said it out loud. Forget I said anything. No, I totally buy that. Those things were not monkeys. I saw them with my own eyes, and they were way too messed up to be anything like monkeys. I mean, that doesn't rule out lab monkeys, right? Could be that whatever made them hairless also caused weird swellings or altered their proportions. But like I said, we don't have anywhere near enough information. Alright, we're probably not going to be able to ditch town, so let's remain silent. You and Kanika sit in comfortable silence for the last few minutes of the ride. You and Kanika arrive at the mines before Stella. I think I am going to have to stop it here, though. We will continue it next time. So that's all for this one. Sorry for the little bit of audio problems. I don't know. Maybe I'll just edit it in the after and make it so you can hear something going on. But yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine anything good is gonna come out of this little mines visit. Nothing ever usually does. And any video game I've ever played where you go to the mines usually ends up with you getting a little bit trapped in there and then something chasing you. But I'd be shocked if Stella is still alive. I mean, sure, we arrived at the mines before Stella, but will Stella ever arrive is the real question. She's really comfortable with walking the woods. I could never. I don't care how bad I'm scared of being in cars. If I saw something in the woods and then like a guy get his head blown off, I think I'm getting in the car. You know, like I have a fear of roller coasters, but if the roller coaster was my only escape from dying, I think I would still get on the roller coaster. But that's all for this one, so let me know what you think of the game down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. This is Casper Kuma, over and out.